Okay, Industries of the Future by Alec Ross. Set your expectations low. It's been a few weeks since I read this one. Normally my videos I make right after I read them. All in all, great book. Anybody interested in technology, anybody interested in sales, anybody interested in where the world might be in 10 or 20 years should read this book. Alec Ross did a great job writing it in a way that was familiar. He tells personal stories about how he grew up. I believe it was in West Virginia with sweeping floors, and then ended up in the cabinet being the director of the future of technology. That's not the right title. It's been a while, but for Hillary Clinton and her administration. So he traveled the world. He discovered all of these technologies on all the different continents, the most cutting-edge robotics. I'm going to try to name them off. Genomics, economic breakthroughs that they've had in terms of Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, the ability for hacking to be weaponized and cybercrime to be weaponized, ransomware, all kinds of futuristic technologies that are here now but will be a part of our society in the future. So he does a great job personalizing the stories of his travels and all of that technology in here. And then, of course, all the different specifics of it. I mean, one of the things that stuck out to me was the genomics, the personalized, I guess it was nanotechnology that we're going to be able to inject or insert somehow into our bodies, where it will go and identify the cancerous cells based on our DNA makeup and destroy cancer very early on, where it is not totally curable, but it will prevent it from spreading, which in turn is the cure. So many different really cool technology. Robotics, that struck me in here. You know, Honda and Hyundai or whatever you said, and Toyota. These companies coming out of Japan and South Korea have created this robotics technology that is basically replacing the home health nursing and home health care industry, because we will no longer need a human if the robotics technology proceeds as these people predict. So basically moving patients that are bedridden and dead weight from one bed to another, these robots will have the strength to do, and at a better price than paying 24/7 home health care, as if the technology comes down in price as it's predicting. So, you know, it talks about the gap between the youth and the elderly as we go forward in the world, and how that might have an impact on emotional health, and then the mental health of establishing relationships with your home robots. Is that a line that you cross? You know, do you become friends with your robot and form emotional attachments? Which of course the evidence shows that we will, and because we do that with things that are not real today. So, you know, really interesting book about where we're heading and how the world will change more so. This is very much a global book, more so than it is a United States-based book. And so, yeah, give it a read. Great, well-written book, and I would say pretty accurate along the lines of 2030, that other book that I reviewed. Check that one out too. But again, like Greatest Salesman in the World and 2030, go to YouTube, look up Alec Ross, and he gives a couple Google keynotes to Google, and gives some talks at other places that you could watch in addition to reading just the book. But I wish I'd read it. I mean, I wish I'd reviewed it closer to it, because I was more enthusiastic about it and remembered more about it. But great book, and I recommend it, and I'm glad that I'm making a recording to remember that I did read this one too, because it was good. And I keep, and this is for your, you know, I go through and I type, or not type up, but I record all of these notes and things that I learned from these books, so that I keep the book in good shape, but then can go back and when I forget and reread what I've learned from the book. So, I may not remember it today because I didn't have the time to review, but that's a good idea and a good exercise if you're looking for a way to remember what you're reading. All right, Industries of the Future by Alec Ross. Go check it out.